Enda suba Oloshulang. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nasha. Kama kawaida, first and foremost, I want to take this opportunity kusema asanteni sana to all my subscribers. Mkaulele is growing each and every day, and it's because you're part and parcel of Mkaulele TV Kenya. If you have not subscribed to my channel, tafadhali, go to your YouTube. Kindly search for Mkaulele TV Kenya. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like, share, leave a comment down below, and most importantly, do not forget to tap the notification bell so you can be notified each time I do an upload. Well, when you talk of the Maori people from New Zealand, most of us think of rugby, American football, and their Haka dance. Well, they have a very rich cultural heritage, and just like any other culture, they have myths and legends associated with their history and beliefs. However, it is important for each and every one of us to actually approach any tribe with a lot of respect for their cultural practices. Well, with the mention of myths and beliefs, I will be sharing with you a short myth about the creation of where they come from. But before we get into that, let us know something small about the Maori people. One commonly known myth about the Maori people is that they are warlike people who are primitive. This myth actually portrays the Maori people as savage warriors engaged in constant intertribal warfares. Well, it is true that actually warfare did occur within the Maori tribe, but this particular myth actually oversimplifies their, rich culture and history. In reality, the Maori people had a sophisticated and complex society with a well-developed social structure. Some intricate art forms, as you can see on the screen, and deep spiritual connection with the land. We all know that these people, when you look and you watch them, just where they live, you can tell the connection between their spirituality and the land, the earth. They are actually possessed with some skills, agricultural skills, fishing skills, navigation skills, and they were really good at trading with other tribes. The Maori culture emphasizes deeply and keenly on strong sense of community, of kinship, and oral tradition. They had an intricate system of governance that is known as tikanga. The tikanga was actually meant to contain and maintain social order and resolve conflicts, between and within the tribe. So it was not like you just wake up and start fighting. No, you have to follow whatever comes from the tikanga. It is, however, important to recognize that while warfare was part of Maori history, it was not what defined their characteristics of the culture. No. As you can see, while they're dancing the Haka dance, in your head, maybe you're thinking it is all violence, but actually it isn't. The Maori people actually had a diverse range of skills that contributed to their rich culture. Okay, so apart from what we're just thinking is all about war, there was something else that actually made them the Maori tribe. One popularly known Maori myth is the story of how New Zealand, known as Aotearoa in Maori, came into existence, and that is the story I wanted to share with you today. Remember, this is a myth. Well, our story today took me back to when I watched these movies. Sorry, it's a bit windy. I think it's about to rain, and we thank God for that time. Well, I'm sure most of you have watched this movie, yeah? So, according to the Maori tribe, Maui was a demigod. So one day Maui decided, set up for a fishing expedition. So the people that were with Maui were paddling, they were rowing their boats as they were, getting deeper into the waters, because now to the deepest is where the best fish they can find. Now, as they got to where he wanted, Maui, the demigod, prepared his hook as usual. His hook was sort of a magical, fish hook. So his brothers, as they were pedaling, wakafika mahali they wanted to go, he threw now his magical fish hook into the waters. It is said, apparently, according to the myth, this fish hook was special and magical because it was made from the jawbone of Maui's ancestors. So you can imagine the attachment and knowing the power that it comes with. And because, according to the myth, this fish hook was magical, when he threw it down, it went to the bottom of the waters, and apparently, according to the story, it attached itself to the earth. It snagged, it kind of hooked itself to the ocean floor. All right, because he was hoping, hey, I'm catching a big fish. Now, the moment it snagged and it hooked itself on the ocean floor, he knew, just by feeling how heavy it was, he knew he had gotten the best fish. Apparently, according to the myth, he started pulling, okay, and he started using his force, and he's a demigod, so you can imagine he has all the energy. So as he was pulling, they started noticing some shift, okay, so he's pulling his fish, kumbe it's not fish, but he doesn't know. Now, according to the myth, he pulled the earth until the ocean, the bottom, the floor of the ocean came up to, be the size of the earth. So according to them, the mountains, the hills, and the valleys of New Zealand were formed during his pulling, because now he's pulling the ocean floor. And as he's pulling, there are hills, there are mountains, where it was high, it goes low, like that, So that is according to their myth. They believe that Maui, the demigod, is the one who pulled and formed New Zealand as it is. Also, according to legend, they believe that the shape of North and South Islands were actually created, okay, by Maui's brothers in eagerness to see the land. Okay, so as they were trying to, they were still in the canoe according to the story. So as they were trying to eagerly see what happened, they hit on one of the formations, and that is how it split into two. Now the north and the south, kinda with a tilt. This particular myth explains the creation of New Zealand from a Maorian's perspective, and it kinda explains the connection between the Maori people and the ocean and land. It symbolizes the importance of the natural world and definitely the relationship between humans and the environment where they live. They take it very, very seriously because it was a creation from one of their demigods, Maui. It is worth noting at this particular juncture that there are so many myths behind the creation of New Zealand according to the Maori culture and beliefs. And each story or each myth around their creation has quite a significance and meaning to each person in the Maori tribe. Well, it is important that even after hearing and listening to these myths, it is good that you do your own research, because most of them, they are different depending on where it is particularly coming from. Remember, their cultures are rich, and they spread about them by telling stories. Okay, so I hope you have learned something small about the Maori people of New Zealand. And apart now from the Haka dance, I'm sure you have learned one or two things. If you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. Remember to like, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, and above all, do not forget to tap the notification bell so you can be notified each time I do an upload. It has been an amazing time, always learning together with you. Take care of yourself and see you again soon. Maybe we should just put a bit of the Haka dance, but I can't because of copyright and YouTube. But anyways, let's just enjoy what we see and let's try.